Check me out.
Yeah. Hey, podcast listening people. Welcome to the Mile High Mentors podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, very grateful. We're very appreciative, very humbled to have you here listening, paying attention. It's really great wherever you're listening. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, give us your feedback, give us a shout on social media at Mile High Mentors. We love hearing from you guys, okay? We cannot grow and continue to get better at what we do without your feedback. So keep it up. You're awesome. We love you. By the way, my name is Connor Doobie, and I am your host each and every episode, if this is the first one you've ever tuned into. And we're here every week to bring you the top insights, information, resources, tools, tips, and tricks from the local entrepreneurs, influencers, CEOs, just great resources here that are in the state of Colorado. And we're here to share that with you guys to help you implement, take action, and be great and have success in your life, whatever that means for you, health, wealth, relationships. So again, guys, thank you so much. By the way, we are actively looking for we're always looking for partners, collaborations. We've considered bringing sponsors on the show. And so, we want to just continue to circulate other great organizations and companies and entities here in Colorado. If that's something you're interested in, be sure to email us at milehighmentors@gmail.com, or you can give us a shout on social, DM us, whatever works for you. We're on all the platforms, Mile High Mentors. Again, you can email us at milehighmentors@gmail.com. Okay, real quick, our current partners over at Active Blogs, if you sell products and services business to business, you probably realize that LinkedIn is a really great platform to be using. Most people just really don't understand how to take advantage of it. So they're putting on a webinar. You can check that out. The missing links to LinkedIn success, activeblogs.com/webinar. Again, activeblogs.com/webinar, and you can give that a watch. Okay, today's guest is an ex-professional athlete. Matter of fact, former Broncos cheerleader turned multi-time entrepreneur. Very excited to share with you the story of Katie Martin, who is a great gal. Very much enjoyed getting an opportunity to sit down in her boutique down in Cherry Creek and do this podcast together. And the stigma around cheerleaders, okay? Whatever stigma that is, there's a general stigma around cheerleaders, and Katie is the exact opposite of that. Very intelligent woman, great head on her shoulders, and what's really awesome as well is she is so early into her career. She's a young gal, and I'm very excited to see what the future has to hold for her. And that's the great thing about this podcast is we have people that are pretty young to, older, successful folks who have gotten everything that they wanted. And so I'm very excited to add Katie to the roster of kick-ass power women that we have had on this podcast. So, without further ado, please welcome Katie Martin to the Mile High Mentors podcast. Start whenever you want to scoot in here.
Okay.
So, did you do the art walk or anything like that last night?
No, what's that?
No? The first Friday art walk?
No, I've never
You know
heard
what
of that.
it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What is
it's
that?
huge. It's huge. So it's like right, Santa Fe, like the main street.
1 second.
All the, we'll just,
keep
yeah. So all the art galleries, like that's where like the big art district is.
Okay,
Santa Fe Art District.
yeah.
And like all the galleries and everything down there like open up and they play music and like roll around, that doesn't make any sense, but like people walk around and just hop from like gallery to gallery.
Okay.
So I did that last night and that was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh.
And you have to
heard
check
of
it
that.
out.
It's
I don't know if they do it on
first-
Saturday too.
First Friday though? Is that what you said, of every month?
Yeah, that's what it's called, First Friday. Have you ever done the First Friday Art Walk?
Yeah. Denver Open Media does a first Friday too. So
Oh, yeah. Where do they do that at?
it's right down the street on 6th in Santa Fe. So as you're walking down Santa Fe on the Art Walk, they're on 6th Avenue.
Life is Dope?
No, Denver Open Media.
Oh, Denver Open Media. Yeah. So I'm part of this group called the Denver Gents, and so like it's just a group of like gentlemen and whatever, and so like we're all like wearing suits and everything like that, and people are walking in and like everyone's wearing casual clothes, and there's just like this set group of guys wearing suits, and I think that's where I effed my eyes up because in the back there's like all this wind blowing by, and then I just got all this grime in my eyes. Anyways, we're gonna let that go. So I figured out how I came across your page actually when I was like thinking like because this was a couple months ago. So Stephanie Smelts, we went, I don't know if we went to like junior high together also, but we went to high school together
in Fort Collins.
Okay,
that's so funny. I lived with her in college.
Did you really?
Yeah 1 year. So I love her to death, but so you guys just met randomly in college, or you decided to room together? So we knew each other for a while. So our close girlfriend Keely, I've been friends with her since I was little, and Steph has too. So I've known Steph since before college. So the three of us just lived together.
Yeah, such a small world.
That is so funny.
Yeah,
I was like so wondering what that was going to be, but
it wasn't anything crazy. But I mean, I think she tagged you or something, and then I went to your page. It's just funny, like social media.
Came in here,
yeah,
she's the best. She always tags me when she comes in, and she's so great.
Yeah, she's doing. I mean, it looks like she's doing great. Like she was quiet, like just very kind of reserved in high school and everything like that. And again, I can't remember if we went to junior high together, but it looks like she's. So if you're listening to Stephanie, congrats!
Shout out!
Shout out! Congrats on what you got going on. So where are you from originally?
So I was born in Texas, lived in Colorado basically my entire life. The
Where in
Greeley
Texas?
area, Amarillo.
Okay.
Grew up in Greeley for a while, and then moved to the Western Slope. So like past Grand Junction. And then came back for school at CSU.
It's like the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere, yeah, absolutely.
And were you cheerleading out there too, like in school?
So I danced throughout school, like studio dance. And then I was on the high school POMS team and then did POMS at CSU. Which is basically cheer. Like Broncos isn't cheerleaders. We don't stunt and stuff, we're like dancing on the field with POMS.
So it's not considered cheerleading, it's just
it's called like they call them NFL cheerleaders, but you're dancing. So it's so like if you're a cheerleader, you're not you can't, it's different. That's confusing, but
that's awesome.
So dance my whole life.
And even like when you're young, who did your parents like get you into dance super early, or you just kind of found it as something that you were interested in yourself?
No, my mom put me in like toddler ballet, when I was like 3, and then I just continued it since then. So I mean, I think I didn't love it as much until I got older. You know what I mean? Like when you're little, sometimes sports are like you feel like you like have to do them.
Well, especially dancing, like gymnastics. That's pretty hardcore for a little kid.
So, but then I just really got into it, like high school, college, and then Broncos was great. So
my little sister did cheerleading, or not cheerleading, gymnastics. It's like
gymnastics is insane.
It is intense with what they put those little kids through. I can't even imagine like 4-hour practices after they're like coming out of like preschool and stuff like that. Right? It's insane.
And that's really tough on your body when you're like bending and doing crazy stuff all the time. So can't imagine that. But
so how old were you when you moved from Texas?
Like 5 or like little kitty. So I was mainly in Greeley for the majority of my life, and then went to high school at it's called Fruta Monument. So it's like pretty small.
We've gone door to door in Fruta before, haven't we?
You might have. I never went up there.
We actually met from doing door to door sales together for like 2.5 years. So we've been to every ass crack and crevice of Colorado.
Oh my god, that's crazy. So Fruta is where I went to high school. I was only there for 4 years, and then Fort Collins.
That's awesome.
So,
And then so straight from there to Fort Collins, You went to elementary school there, or I'm sorry, junior high in Fort Collins also?
No, high school in Fruita, just CSU.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Again, my timeline's all screwed up here.
No, I know, it's confusing. Sorry.
Not so much. Well, great. So, what are, your parents, are they both entrepreneurs? Like, right now, not a lot of, and not that I know, like, a lot of cheerleaders go from cheerleading to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Were your parents major influencers for you being in entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. So with cheering, also, like, it's not your job, you know what I mean? It's more of like a part-time, like, fun thing. So, like, women on the team are, like, doing all kinds of stuff. Like, you have a full-time job, you're in school, like, we had lawyers, we had, like, a chemical engineer at one point. So cheering's more of, like, that fun thing for the NFL-wise. But yeah, my mom has always been an entrepreneur. She had, like, a catering business when we were little. And
so you're a foodie then?
Absolutely. And she has a restaurant now in our little small town in Western Slope. My dad has had businesses his whole life. He had a business in Grand Junction. That's why we moved there. He opened up something over there. So they've always been like that.
What did he open in Grand Junction?
So my family's a cattle family. So we have cattle ranches and all that kind of stuff. So we opened like a livestock auction, and it's actually outside of Grand Junction. And my mom opened a steakhouse. So that's what they do. And
the steakhouse is still there?
Yeah, steakhouse is still there. So it's wonderful. It's like a little hole in the wall, really great, like Texas comfort food, chicken fried steak, all that stuff.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Do you go out there often?
No, not as much as I need to.
It's a hefty drive to get out there.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But I'm sure it's a nice little, like, getaway from the city and everything.
Yeah, I go whenever I can, for sure.
It's growing fast. Like, the town's growing pretty fast.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are starting to migrate out that way.
It's really, it's gorgeous over there. It's just an interesting location, you know, because you're, like, kind of in a bubble. You're 5 hours from Salt Lake City, 5 hours from Denver, and it's kind of like an interesting
valley.
Interesting thing. But it's beautiful, and it was fun for high school, for sure.
And your favorite meal at the restaurant?
Would be chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak?
Sure.
Really?
It's like so bad but good.
I'm a celiac, so I can't do like tough. Chicken fried steak.
Well, that's why you're able to diet like you do then.
Yeah.
Because you already have restrictions.
Yeah, it made it pretty easy, but still, it's like, I wish I could do a chicken fried steak. But I mean, it's so trendy, like the gluten-free trend and everything like that. Yeah. So it works out in my favor.
So you've always been celiac, like you've known forever?
No, actually, horribly enough, when I started my freshman year of college was when they're like, yeah, you can't, like, you're allergic to all this stuff. Because I was getting so sick, like, I was like, just giving me anxiety issues, like skin, like everything. It was so bad. And then I just cut it and like was on the up and up after that. So yeah,
that's so crazy.
It's just how they make it now, you know. I don't know. Yeah. So many more people are affected by it than like it was before. Yeah. But also I get to be really creative with food, and I cook like 90% of my meals. So
yeah, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get on that page for sure.
Does your mom do aged steak? Where she's at?
Yeah. I mean, they don't do that for that restaurant. It's like it's different than Denver, like the food scene, you know what I mean? But yeah, she's done like everything. She's the best cook ever.
I just got onto the aged steak thing. I never did it before.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, some people are like scared. I mean, it's
a weird thing to think about, but like, if you can get it right, it's right.
Yeah.
Like the Texas steak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I was actually, one of the things I was interested in, you know, I don't know the world of professional, like being a professional athlete is really fascinating to me. And so what are some of the nuances of when you're a cheerleader that most people don't realize?
I mean, the biggest thing I would say about NFL cheerleading is that it's incredibly different than you would imagine it to be. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has their stereotypical views of it. But,
of a cheerleader, right?
Yeah. But it's like the most intense team I've ever been on, like athletic-wise. The practices were insane. We're you're constantly in the community, you're constantly coaching kids and stuff, and I just think sometimes it gets a really bad rap, but we have like the Broncos has the absolute
Wait,
best.
get a bad rap because of why?
Well, because there's all kinds of
just
like
a stigma
and like the NFL right now with cheerleaders and stuff and like some stuff. We probably shouldn't dive into that, but the reason why I love it so much is like it's all about your ownership and the organization itself. And the Denver Broncos is absolutely the best like class act organization in the NFL, and so we have had, I mean, the best experience. It's like to the nines. We have a beautiful locker room. We get treated amazing. We get to do everything.
Do you get like private jet also when you fly to different locations?
Well, we only fly because NFL is home field advantage,
right,
through and through. So the only time there's cheerleaders going away is the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when we went to the Super Bowl, we got to fly.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah,
I took my mom. That was awesome. But I mean, things like that, you know what I mean? We are so blessed to have those kind of experiences and be treated like that.
Because I saw your private jet photo. Maybe it was just something.
Oh, I think I had a promo. Yeah, I had a promo once in Wyoming, and they flew us in a jet with some boys, with some of the players, and that was just a weekend deal. But but that was awesome too.
And by the way, those of you guys that are hearing dogs like barking in the background and like the beautiful sounds of nature, we're actually in the Kate Sweat location. In Kate Sweat's location down here, and so that's where you're getting a little bit of fun background music or background sound.
But yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
And then did you like when you went into cheerleading? Did you have the intention of entrepreneurship exiting that, or it just kind of like naturally like flew?
So yeah, I mean, because you have your goals in life. So I guess. You know, you have your job goals, and then cheerleading is just kind of like the fun thing on top of that. You know what I mean? So I was working in bridal. I did an internship at a bridal salon in Denver, and I went to school with apparel merchandising and business. So I was planning on opening a store for sure. That's like what I wanted to do always. So it was just a matter of like when it was going to happen. And then I think being on Broncos, and you're so empowered. Like there's so many. Just truly incredible women on that team, and they were a lot older than me when I first made the team. I was like 20 years old, you know, and I'm like dancing with 30-year-olds that have these amazing careers, and they're so driven. And so I think it kind of pushed me a little bit faster than I would have maybe like if I hadn't have been cheering, because you're just so inspired by those, you know, the people around you. And then really I just had to stop because I just got a little overwhelmed doing both. But I mean, technically, I would have probably danced a little bit longer.
Doing both as in...
Like, owning the store and cheering still.
So you opened this while you're in your last... Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so I did a full season with my first year of Caitlin Collective.
Wow.
Which was wonderful, though, you know, because you have all the support from these girls, and I have these, like, girls modeling the clothes and stuff like that. So it was great, but I did need to, you know, do a little less. So, so that's why I don't do it anymore, but...
And so how long ago was that you just completely stopped?
So my 2-year anniversary of that opening is June 11th, so coming up. So...
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I mean, for a retail, like brick and mortar, that's good. In the amazing. Denver location.
Yeah. So that's great. We're so excited about that. We need to plan a party.
Yeah, we should.
But
we can do another podcast in there during the party.
But yeah, so let's see. I did a season after the Super Bowl 50. So that was, 2017 is when I retired. So
just recently.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, what do you want to talk about? I mean, like, let's. I don't know. Like, I want to know a little bit more about. Let's talk. Like, I really want to have power women on this podcast to inspire other women that, you know, maybe they're considering starting a business. So like, what are some tips or what are some ways that they could possibly get started?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the biggest thing is, well, for me at least, it's like I just think if you're incredibly passionate about something, then it's really easy to like put 100% into it. And I think it's so great to start things young because you have all this energy and have all this time. You know, I didn't have kiddos or anything to like kind of keep me away from like going fully into this. And so I just think the biggest thing is if you want to be successful in areas like this, you know, like retail, restaurant, a bunch of that stuff, it's just a grind. You know, like you have to like constantly
actually putting in work.
Yeah,
right.
Working all the time. outside of the store, you know, everyone's like, oh, you have dream hours is 10 to 5. I'm like, well, I'm not 10 to 5. You know what I mean? You just do stuff all the time. So I think with women, you know, I think it's getting a lot better now. We're in a place where women are empowered. They are doing what they want to do. So yeah, I mean, like, more power to you. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like there were any stranger limitations on you as a woman, or is it just more like that could be perceived that way? Being a woman in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I think it could be perceived that way. I think you just have to like eliminate that. Like, I refuse to have anything like that in my life. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you definitely deal with things like, you know, when I was trying to get the retail lease, and at that time I was 22 years old, you know, it was really hard to be taken seriously and stuff. So there's like little things like that happen to me all the time still. Or I'll come in, or somebody will come in the store and I'm talking to them about the shop and they're like, oh, you're the owner? Oh, that's weird. You know what I mean? Like things like that. But I don't really struggle with it because I'm pretty, I don't know what the word would be. I guess aggressive, if you will. I don't really put up with a lot. So
no BS.
I don't really deal with it. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I don't think women really, I feel like we're in a place where women are just so incredibly supportive of each other that like women never have problems. I've never had problems with any. There's so many women business owners in Cherry Creek. It's crazy, you know. There's a little powerhouse over here. So, I mean, got a ton of backing in this community for sure.
So being surrounded by great people, like, is there somebody specific here that really helped you to open these locations? Like, was a retail expert, or was it just more the other women that have been supporting you over that period of time?
You know, so before I opened it, I definitely went and talked to as many people as I could, like kind of picked everybody's brain. I knew a couple people. One of my mom's friend had a boutique in San Fran, and so, you know, we picked her brain, just kind of did that. But no, it's just, I have so many friends that are so driven and supportive. So I, you know, like I do events. My good girlfriend, Natalie Euling, is like a fitness guru, Instagram kind of social media person. What are those called? Influencers. You know what I mean? So we just, you know, we just kind of push. We do events all the time. I do events. My girlfriend has a spray tanning business. Like, we just all support each other. We kind of just like rally up. There's so many women that own businesses in Denver, and, you know, it's not like a competitive atmosphere at all. It's like, what can we do together?
Because there's a lot, like, are most of the other shops around here boutique-y?
Yeah, and that's this area, you know, so it's really great. Everybody understands each other, you know, but
how do you separate your style and your fashion from everybody else?
So that's huge. That was the biggest thing. Well, this one's great because I'm the only athleisure boutique in this area, and I think in Denver.
Athleisure? That's a word?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right.
That's what this is called, an athleisure.
Athleisure. That's cool. So you learn something new every day.
Yeah. So that's been great because I can really do what I want here. I can carry any designer I want because there's no other stores like this. My other store, it took a minute to like really become our own little thing. It's completely black and white versus like when we first opened. I mean, completely different. So we brought in new stuff to cater to like our clients here, and that's probably what took the longest over there, is just kind of figuring out what people wanted and what we needed to sell. And we're East Coast prep over there. That's like our vibe over there.
East Coast prep,
like a little bit older. You know, she's like a Cherry Creek mom, really cutesy. And we didn't start out that way at all. It was like very neutral. I love neutrals, black, whites, all that kind of stuff. But women love color here. So we kind of cater.
The women, the married mom.
The Cherry Creek mom.
The Cherry Creek mom, yeah.
So we cater to them and they love us. And I mean, I have amazing customers that are incredibly supportive and wonderful. So
do they know that you're an ex-Broncos cheerleader, like a lot of them, and that's what brings them into the store?
Oh no, I don't think it brings them into the store, but I mean, we try and really get to know our customers. We know a lot of them by first name, you know what I mean? We know what they want when they come in. We try and like have stuff picked out for them. So but yeah, people definitely, like we've talked about it. I mean, it's on my social media. It definitely helped to kind of have that as something when I first opened to kind of get my name out there and stuff. I have all the Broncos cheerleaders, you know, doing my modeling and stuff for me. So that was helpful for sure. But yeah, I don't know that people know necessarily when they come in always.
Right. I think that's really important, and that's really great that you took the feedback and then just kind of shifted. I think that's why a lot of businesses go out of business, especially retail, especially restaurant, because they don't take in feedback from their customers, right?
Right.
So how did you just do that on a one-to-one, like just talking to them as they come in the store, like, hey, what do you want to see? Or
so the issue, it's so interesting. I think I told you this on the phone. It was really a price point issue. So I had very affordable clothes.
This was really interesting too.
Yeah.
So
I had very affordable clothes when I started out. I wanted it to be like anybody can come in and buy something. Everybody feels comfortable in the store. And it kind of was an age range between like something I would wear and something my mother would wear, who's like 60s. You know what I mean? I wanted it to just be like very classic all around the board. And just like women wanted expensive clothes. They didn't want inexpensive clothes. And that was very apparent very early on. So then I started bringing in clothes that were expensive, but kind of like, you know, stuff I was obsessed with. Like I'd go to LA and I'd be like, oh my gosh, you know, this. Just go nuts. And it's like, you know, they love the price point of it when it was higher, but it's like hit or miss on what they wanted. Sometimes I'd bring in ripped jeans and they like hated them. Sometimes there'd be like a 50-year-old woman wanting the ripped jeans. You know, you just never knew. So basically, the clientele that I have in this area and over there wanted, you know, just really nice clothes, very high end. So now that's what we offer. And we changed the style up a little bit, but that was just the biggest thing. And I honestly, it was so nice to get that feedback, because how amazing is it to go to LA and buy really nice fancy clothes? Like I love it. It's so fun. And so
you live like most women, not most, but a large majority of women's dream. Like go shop and then go get to like work with clothes all day long.
Yeah, like it's so fun. And so over there, you know, we have cashmere sweaters. We have really nice occasion dresses. We have just really, really high quality products, and we get them in really small quantities, so nobody feels like, you know, they're going to have the same thing in this area. Like one of each size, and then it's out and it's gone. We get something else in. So it's continuously moving all the time. And it's a blast. But yeah, it's been crazy how with just like those little tweaks, it's been huge for us. So it's definitely all about like catering to your girl, catering to your customer. And totally, like, yeah, it's sad when you open a store and it's all your favorite things and exactly what you'd want to wear and stuff. But it's like, let's make some money. You know what I mean?
Which it probably was somewhat in the beginning, right? Like your influence,
all my look.
What
it was, and that's why I was like, oh, it's gonna be so fun. Like a collective of like my favorite things. You know, like how I would dress. But it's like, you know, we're all out here just trying to make money. So what my customer wants, my customer gets, and I still think it's cute. You know what I mean? It's just different, you know? I'll definitely wear it when I'm a little bit older. Some things I definitely wear in there though, still, you know? It does.
When I'm more seasoned.
Right? Yeah. When I'm like, I'm a cherry cream mom, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So yeah, anyways.
Yeah, so, but I think that's really important. That's super important. I mean, people don't realize how important getting feedback is. Like, when we do this podcast, it sucks. Sometimes it hurts getting feedback, but you have to be, like, super receptive to it. You have to find a way to be receptive to feedback to make those adjustments.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Yeah, it just doesn't really... That kind of feedback, it should not ever be... I mean... If it's going to help you and help your business, like, why not? You know what I mean? You don't want to have a store that like just puts you in the hole because you wanted to have stuff that you would wear, like, you know, to get the wholesale cost on like clothes. No, you know what I mean? Like, you're trying to make some money.
It's just your own clothing closet, right? Really, over anything.
And that's so funny because I mean, it has helped me a lot. It was really hard for me because I was wearing everything in the store. I'm like, I want this one, this one, and so that's helped me a lot too. I'm like, I'm saving some money because I'm not wearing everything in the store at all times. You know, I'm not taking home literally every single thing we get in. So it's like, that's been nice for my budgeting.
Will you, you'll go to like LA or somewhere, travel around, and then will you literally purchase like bulk product there and then take it back, or you'll like find something you like and then order it and bring it into the store?
So you do seasonal buys. So you go in like June. Right now we're going into the holiday, so I would go out to LA in a couple weeks if I had time, but I don't, so I'm not. And
I'll be in San Diego next weekend, so I'll go boutiquing around for you. Yeah.
So you meet with the designers, and
I'll just FaceTime around for you.
Yeah. You would die. It's hard. That LA. Everyone's like, oh, LA must be so fun, but I'm like, yeah, you're so dead by the time it's over, because they're in these showrooms in the fashion district, and they're permanent showrooms. Like the designers are there year round. No air conditioning. You're walking upstairs, up and downstairs, like all day. I know, it's like a really old building.
Oh,
it's the Cooper building. Anyways, it's a grind out there, but yeah. So you pick out the line. So we'd be looking at holiday in a couple weeks. You pick out the entire line. You do the order. You technically like sign on the line and purchase the goods, but then it won't ship out until this coming December. So you never leave with physical goods.
Scope them out. Do you ever do any like? What's a bigger fashion influence, would you say? Actually, I had talked about this with somebody else recently. Is it more California or is it more on the East Coast? Is it New York?
Well, it just totally depends on what you're buying for. You know what I mean? I think I have an East Coast girl over there. An East Coast preppy girl is like the Cherry Creek mom over there at my other store.
Oh, got it. It was like in New York?
Yeah. So technically, like, that influence is the East Coast influence. But I think I vibe more with like the LA side than the New York side. So just, you can like look at a girl and tell if she's more New York or LA pretty much instantly.
How?
Or if she's more Dallas.
How?
So there's like three. Okay, so my girlfriend,
I'll put a checklist together.
Yeah. So like she wears like a really trendy hat, like a really trendy felt hat, and she wears, very understated clothes, like black blazer, understated but really nice. Like that's a New York girl. An LA girl is like a little bit more like business
fashionista in New York.
Business, but just like the super cool girl. And then LA is like, really, I mean, in LA, like anything goes. In New York, anything goes. But like, if I'm thinking of like, I don't know, influencers, if you will, you have like your LA girls, your New York girls, and your like Dallas preppy girls. And it's just very obvious that a lot of bright colors going on.
In the Dallas preppy?
Preppy, a lot of neutrals going on in the New York side, so, yeah. It's just interesting.
Yeah, it isn't. So, are there any like major publications or like content that you consume or subscribe to that
helps?
Yeah.
So, not really. Now that I kind of know my customer, I just really have to like narrow down and like focus in when I go. Like this is like tunnel vision. You know what I mean? Because you see these new things, pretty much too in fashion. Everybody's on the same page with trends, so you'll go into, every designer is going to have the color palette of 2019. It's going to be the same color palette.
What is the color palette?
Of 2019. I don't know. Well, there's a lot of mustard happening right now still. Yeah.
Mustard.
Mustard yellow. But, I haven't looked at the trend forecast for 2019 yet. But so you don't really have to like decide those trends. Like they're pretty much decided. You see what I'm saying? Like
really?
The fashion industry has decided before we go to buy stuff in LA and New York, like what the trends are going to be. And then we pick from those trends what we're going to carry. Like I'm not going to carry something overly trendy on trend in my classic little like store over there, So you just pick and choose.
So guys, there's going to be a lot of mustard.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of mustard going on. There's mustard everywhere now. I feel like it's maybe the last market I was in, I was like, there's so much mustard.
I could not rock the mustard. Maybe on my shirt, because I'm just like,
it's a tough color. People love it though. I'm shocked by how much we sell of it right now in this other store.
Yeah, I'm like you. Like I'm brown hair, like brown eyes, like black, gray, white.
Yeah.
This blue is trying something new.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Any of the other cheerleaders that you're still like very connected to that also have businesses and are operating businesses down here?
Yeah. So, when I was dancing, there's so many girls that own businesses. You know, there's a girl on the team still. She owns an eyelash extension business. We have a girl that owns a spray tanning business. She just opened. Love her. Everybody go get sprays with her. Lauren Hannah.
Where's it at?
Oh my gosh, her name's not Lauren Hannah anymore. I do this all the time. It's Lauren Tracy.
She got married.
It's
congrats, Lauren Tracy.
Yeah.
We don't know you.
It's over on Downing. It's amazing. She does custom spray tans. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, just really, I think that's another cool thing about that team. And then we can't talk about it anymore because I think there's some like things. I don't think we're like supposed to like always. I don't know. I didn't tell my director that we were going to talk about that. But
it's okay.
But so, like,
we'll get the insight by the time it comes out. Then maybe it'll be okay. I don't know.
She won't get mad.
Okay.
But I mean, the biggest thing about that is everyone I think has this like stigmatism on cheerleaders and being like whatever, and we had so many really cool jobs on that team, like literally lawyers and engineers and like you name it.
That were practicing lawyers in tandem?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's really hard to do, like...
I couldn't imagine how you'd pull that off, because you have to, what does your practice schedule look like when you do something like that? So
it's like, well, it's only two nights a week, and it's later in the evening, but it's just really long. Like, practices can go till 10 p.m., you know what I mean? But you could do more or less, you know, we have a lot of things going on in the events and stuff in the community and stuff, but you definitely just make it work with your schedule, you know. It's doable. It's just hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what else do you want to share? I mean, we have a platform. What do you want to get off your chest? Like being an entrepreneur, being a power woman, being in cheerleading, anything you want to talk about. Because again, like I told you, I don't want to make this like super interview. Like I want to hear, like people want to hear from you, I'm sure. And like your thoughts on anything.
You know, I don't know. I don't feel like I need to get anything off my chest.
Did you go to Temple last night? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I just noticed the logo.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so.
I didn't stay out late. I honestly didn't.
Okay, well, you did better than I did because I was late.
You were late into the night?
Into the podcast. No, I wasn't late into the night.
Oh, you were late to the podcast, yeah.
I actually went home, but I had an open bar last night, so I did have a couple tequila club sodas. But
yeah, I only had a couple drinks. That was good.
I haven't been to Temple yet. Is it fun?
It's
just like club.
Yeah, it's a club.
Yeah.
There was somebody there that we were supposed to see. Dirty South. Do you guys know?
Oh yeah, I know Dirty South.
I don't know them. Or him. Or her. I don't know.
Wait, there's two Dirty Souths, I think. There's a rapper Dirty South, I think, and then there's also like an EDM.
DJ is what I...
DJ. But there's also, maybe I'm thinking of something else, Dirty South.
Oh.
No. All right, I'm just talking about that then.
I'm not sure which one it was then. I'm assuming the DJ was at Temple. But
do you read, like, do you do any like books or conferences or anything that's that
I read personally, you know, like I love books.
Are you a business book person or like a 50 Shades of Grey?
Like a non-fictional. I mean fictional. So no, I don't really. I mean, I want to have more time to go to like events and stuff and conferences, but I just really don't right now. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of juggling the stores. But yeah, ideally, I mean, I guess I do kind of go mainly things like my girlfriends do, you know, in Denver and stuff. But no, I should read more business books. I should go to more business conferences. You know.
Yeah, no, I was just curious because some entrepreneurs, they're like super heavy into that. Some of them are like, no, I never do that. I just like go and you know, work my hustle.
Yeah, I pretty much just grind. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, that's all I do. I don't know. I don't feel like I have anything cool to share. Like, yeah, I just think, you know, I'm like, yeah. I've just always been that way. I've always like juggled a lot. I love being really, really busy. I never have like an issue finding drive or like being passionate about. I'm really heavily passionate in like everything I do in life, you know. So
that's rare. Like, how do you find that passion, or how do you maintain that passion?
I think I just really enjoy. I don't know. I enjoy relationships. I enjoy people. I enjoy what I do. You know what I mean? I think it's easy to be passionate if you're doing something you love. You know, that's why I think it's so important to start a business that you absolutely adore in every way, because it's like you're not going to get over it. You know, retail's like so frustrating at times. You know, but I love it. I love clothes. I love making women feel like so. You know, like. When a girl's getting a dress for an event and just feels so good in it and can't wait to wear it, you know what I mean? Like, that's such a great feeling and a great vibe. So I just always try and be as positive as I can. I'm very type A, so, you know, it's also part of it.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people that, you know, do these kind of things or are entrepreneurs or whatever are very type A, and that's one thing that I think I need to like do is like maybe chill out sometimes. I have a hard time chilling, sitting still.
So you're in the club, like
in the club.
Just like
you're just talking about me going to Temple last night.
Up in Temple, just like when are we getting out of here?
You know, I literally just disappeared. I ghosted everybody. I'm like, I have a podcast now.
You just
I literally left. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing last night.
That's the best way to do it, because then like nobody can get mad at you, because like
if you just like sneak out,
yeah.
Like I'm going to the bathroom, and then you're like an hour later, everyone realizes you're
you get
gone.
like 10 texts. They're like, "Are you okay?"
Were you kidnapped last night?
Yeah, seriously. They're like mad today, but yeah.
I'm sure they'll get over it.
Yeah.
Was Stephanie in town last night?
No, you guys? Steph was in town a couple weeks ago, though.
Oh, okay. That's maybe when I saw.
Yeah.
But I found you before that. Like, this was probably several months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, she was in town a couple weeks ago. We went to this place you guys should go. It's called Death & Co. It started in New York, and now they opened one in Denver. It's just like a really cool, quaint little bar in Rhino. That's off topic, but that's where I went with Steph. We just wound up at Temple last night.
Have you been there?
No, but I'm always in Rhino. So.
It's in the Ramble Hotel. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
But
I live in Rhino.
It's all the rage. You do?
Mm-hmm.
You guys should go to Barcelona Wine Bar.
Oh, I love Barcelona Wine Bar.
I love that place.
Have you been to Brigsby's?
No.
You should check that out.
I'm not familiar with Rhino. I honestly.
Are you a wino? Like,
yeah.
I don't like Colorado wine that much. Like, it's a little too sweet, I found. I know. I'm sorry, guys. Guys, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I've traveled.
Have you done a wine business?
I haven't yet. So that I'm open to being turned around. You guys, I know there's a lot of wine out there. I'm open to being turned around, but the Colorado wines I've tried are like too sweet. But I have gone to Brigsby's, and it's in Rhino. Like, you know where the Source is?
Yeah. So I went to the Source recently.
Yeah, Source's get some tacos in the Source.
Wait, I'm confused. Maybe I didn't go to the Source.
This is right off of like Broadway. So if you're going down Broadway and the Source is on the right hand side, there's like a shit ton of construction going on over there.
Yeah.
So Brigsby's is like, it's in like you wouldn't find it. It's not on the side of the street. Like, it's really kind of hidden.
Okay.
And so it's like kind of back in these like buildings. And I went to an event there, and I had no idea it existed. It's like a block away from my apartment, basically.
Okay.
And it's gorgeous. It's this huge, beautiful winery that have these like awesome barrels. Actually, we should see about doing a podcast in there. It'd be fun.
Oh, right.
But they have this like wine. It's like it's totally blanking my name, but it tastes like bubble gum. But it's not like sweet, like gross bubble gum. Rosé. It's a rosé.
And it tastes like bubble gum.
It tastes like bubble gum. It's really good. And I'm not a sweet. That's how they describe it, I guess. But they'll do like a rosé flight. Like, they do some really good rosés. Which, by the way, guys, if you're into wine, rosé is like super underrated. If you can find a good rosé, people think it's a girly wine. Don't look at me like that, Julius. I see it.
People think it's. My brother loves rosé. Oh my god. He always gets so much crap for it.
How many siblings do you have?
Just one.
Just one? And what does your brother do?
He just graduated law school.
Oh, wow.
Last month.
Congrats to him.
He's moving to Colorado.
From Texas? Or
no, he went to California for law school.
Okay, got it.
So he's moving to Colorado in August. He's got to pass the bar, so let's all send out prayers. And then, he's going to practice law in Colorado. So everybody will be in one state.
If he's anywhere near as intelligent as you, I'm sure he'll be just fine.
He's so smart. Oh my gosh. He was a sibling. Like, I had to always study so hard to get A's and stuff. And he, like, just is too smart. But love him. But
EQ, IQ, different kind of smarts.
Yeah.
There's different kind of smart, definitely. Yeah. So your big like, where do you see yourself in 20 years from now?
So big picture, I feel like everyone's like, oh my god, do you just want to like have like a million stores? Not really, like I want to have just like a couple more like small locations. I want it to always be like boutique and small town feel, so I could see Caitlin Collective having a location in Scottsdale would do well there, or having a location in Austin or Dallas, like one, you know what I mean? Or we could stay in Colorado, have a location in Boulder. Like, I don't want anything crazy. Just like a few more. And I just want to like continue as is. I don't want it to be anything crazier than that. And then I want it to be very like self-functioning. So when I do have a family, I'm not like grinding like this anymore, you know what I mean? So
and you're on a Saturday morning after hitting Temple the night before. I'm just gonna give you a hard time.
It's a different. No, I know, and this is so funny. Like I say, I'm grinding all the time, like, but I also like make time to like play. So it's like,
that's good. I mean, I've found myself so hard the other way, trying like I'll be texting you on a Sunday. You're like, dude, there's a game going on. Like, why are you hitting me up?
Right,
I'm like, I'm grinding. It's hard. Balance is hard when you're in that entrepreneur land and you're like,
and I used to not, like last year, I feel like I just like finally hit a point where I'm like, I just need to be more fun and do things and not stress about it and not be, because it's hard not to be like, you're type A, you're high strung. Well, not you, I'm saying like, me, high strung, type A, like, so I make time to do fun things now.
That's good. Yeah, you should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Do you have like other businesses that you're interested in outside of the fashion? I said it like the fashion.
I know, the fashion.
Well,
I'm just really interested in everything. There's so many. This my mom always makes fun of me about this. Like, I've always been this way. Like, I pretty much just like say I'm going to do something, and then I just like do it and like make it work. And I'm always thinking of things like, whether it's, we talked about this, like blogging, whether it's fitness stuff, like I used to teach dance and stuff. I may do that again, like just like whatever I have time for, I'm interested in doing. So
do you do any nonprofit involvement or organizations?
So my favorite philanthropy is Make-A-Wish. That's like been my biggest one. You know what Make-A-Wish is?
Yeah,
okay,
I do.
That was a stupid question. It's such a huge one. But we do all kinds of nonprofit stuff through the stores too. I try and be like heavily philanthropic through the stores because people love that and the community loves that. We try and stay close to our community and do stuff like Bromwell's, like, stuff goes back to the school. If their moms come in, they buy something, they get 15% off, 15% goes to the school, things like that.
That's awesome.
But Make-A-Wish is definitely my fave.
Why Make-A-Wish?
So I found out about Make-A-Wish. I knew about Make-A-Wish, but I didn't start really doing things with Make-A-Wish until college. I was in a sorority and that was our philanthropy. And then I just like fell in love. I've always loved kids and it's pretty kid based. There's some adult things going on, but I just love it. I love the idea of granting wishes and how, that whole thing is just huge for me. So that's definitely my favorite. But
and aren't the Broncos pretty heavily involved with Make-A-Wish?
We do stuff with Make-A-Wish, yeah. We do. We're heavily involved in the Children's Hospital, so that goes hand in hand, and Make-A-Wish, and so I've kind of been. It's been nice because I've been able to be a part of that through them as well.
Awesome. I think you should start a podcast. By the way,
podcast.
Guys,
this seems like a lot.
Nah.
It's not. You guys love it.
Yeah.
How often?
It's not work. Try to pump them out. Well, Julius just had a baby recently.
You did? Congrats.
He is Papa Julius.
It's a boy?
Yep.
Or girl?
It's a boy. Little JJ.
Oh my gosh. That's so sweet.
So excited. I cried when you told me. I'm so excited.
Said that on air.
That's okay. So your question was how often. So Julie's had a baby recently. We've kind of been a little intermittent. I had to learn how to do some of this on my own, just to keep the flow. But we try to crank one out once a week, once every other week at least. And we have such an incredible community here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People may not be aware of you that they are now with this platform, and maybe that one little piece of information that you relayed helps that next woman or man or whoever just be like, I can do this, or it's just golden nuggets. I listen to podcasts all the time.
Yeah, which I love.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the idea of podcasts.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite podcasts?
Well, I don't listen to informational podcasts. I listen to Serial and
Serial.
Yeah, Serial. Have you never heard of that podcast?
No.
It's like.
Do they talk about cereal?
No, it's like
or serial murders.
Yeah, well, it's on this. I mean, I don't want to dive into it, but this case. I like story podcasts, not So
Radiolab, have you listened to Radiolab?
I haven't listened to that.
You would probably like Radiolab. Although it's a little more, I think it's a little more non-fictional.
Yeah.
But it's really the way they format it's really high production. You've listened to Radiolab's podcast before, right?
No, actually.
You haven't? Yeah. They're really high production, and they have some really interesting stories.
Yeah.
But you like the murder mystery type?
Kind of, yeah.
That's cool.
It's terrifying. My voice, guys, and that's another reason I can't do a podcast.
No, I think you really can.
My voice records really bad.
It's all about energy. You know what? I have such a I don't have a deep radio voice or a sexy podcast voice.
Oh no!
But
my voice. Whenever I hear voicemails of myself, I'm like, ooh, or Snapchat videos, I'm like, oh my god.
Well, the reason I say it is you. There's probably so many other people that are I don't think there's a lot of either it's fashion related, or maybe ex Broncos cheerleaders. That's a world that's kind of a mystery to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so shining a light on that, I think, would be really interesting. It's easy. We'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, fine, sure, I'll do it.
Cool.
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
So let's wrap this thing up. Anything else that you want to share? Last minute, talking about it.
I would just say, I think people, entrepreneurs. I just think the biggest thing that people, or the biggest thing I would just say is you have to work so hard. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to work so hard. I think about my mom, and she still grinds for a restaurant she's owned for 8 years because she cares so much about it being successful, and she cares, you know what I mean, just so much about all the little details, and you just have to truly be like that in anything you do if you want it to be successful. So I just think that's important. I think it's tough to find people that really want to work hard and grind these days. So that's my one thing.
Put the work in.
And
restaurants tough.
Yeah, and
tough,
it's tough to maintain.
Business.
She's an animal. She's seriously an animal.
I was if there's two businesses I would start, two that I would never go into is retail and restaurants.
Absolutely, it is. I mean, it's crazy. It's so crazy. So I just think that's the biggest thing to know is, if you want something to work, you definitely have to grind, and that's fine. You do it because you love it. You do it because you want to do it and make money. And then female power. 2018. That's all I'm going to say,
Just that, we'll cut it off. All right, that's perfect. We're going to cut it off with that. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll chat with you next time. Huh? Oh! I am so sorry. How can people get into contact with you?
What do you mean?
But she had me at Women Power, and so I had to just cut it off from there. But how can people... how can people find you social media?
Yeah, social media. So Kate Sweat, K-I-T, Sweat.
But her name is Katie.
My name is Katie. And then Caitlin Collective is my other store.
We'll get some content in there. So Instagram, what's your Instagram handle? Kate Sweat, and then what's the other?
Caitlin Collective.
Oh, Caitlin Collective.
At Kate Sweat, at Caitlin Collective.
Okay, we got it. I think we have everything. Guys, thanks so much. We'll see you next time.